Hello everyone, this is Ali Reza. In this episode we will write our base node, base start node, not base start node and their schemas. But I noticed that ReSharper again derped on me and the namespaces was wrong because I forgot to set my namespace correctly before adding anything to the project. And this guy is BT. Don't worry, when you set it on one folder, one of the files on the folder, ReSharper will continue using that. So, also, one thing that I decided is that, was it here? No. Where was it? Where did I call that? Inside behavior tree, I think. Yeah. This check possible running child. I decided that for time being, I will put it in the in the graph. I'm not sure if I will use it in future or not, but if we don't use it, it will not harm anything. It's just there for us to use. And I like my empty methods to have their curlies at the end of the name. That's a habit. Okay. So now if I uncomment this guy and remove this cast, it should work. And I totally forgot that it shouldn't sit on the graph. It should sit on the node. There we go. So I just decided to have that there, and now I can comment this guy. Okay, now base node will override few methods. First is initialize, tick, and set parent active, and that check one. The start node will override few more methods, namely its initialize and its tick. Okay, now coming back to the base, I will for time being keep that set parent and that one calling the base, although I'm not sure if I'm doing anything here. No, they're empty, so I will just remove them. I'm not sure if I need them, that is why I'm not doing anything there. But let's talk about the rules of behavior trees. Well, each behavior tree, I will put a comment here on the class itself. So each behavior tree should have a start node as a permanent node. Can't be deleted. Okay. Each behavior tree in vertical design goes from top to bottom, then left to right, meaning that it will go from start to the first node below it, and then if it has multiple childs, it will select the very left child and then goes forward to the right. And each behavior tree would have one of these states. Either it can be success or fail or error. If it is inactive, that would mean it was resetted and now can start from start node. Okay? That's the rules about the behavior tree itself. Now the nodes, however, has more rules. With the exception of a start node, every other node in behavior tree will have only one input. Nodes that are action nodes will have no output. Other than action nodes, every other node will have only one output, with exception of few nodes. And we will talk about them in future, okay? If a node has an input, that input can't be multi-connected. If a node, that needs to be lower F, okay? If a node has an output, that output should be multi-connected with exception of few nodes, and these exceptions are exactly the same exceptions that we have on top. Okay? Each node should sort, and let's call that should with capitals, should sort its children. Any other rules that I remember? The start node should have one output and no inputs. Okay? Those are the rules that comes to top of my mind. So in initialize, we want to address some of these issues. So after calling the base, we say should sort children equals to true. Then we say outputs dot add new. Well, here I can say new output node output. Or if you want to go fancy about it, you could come into I/O and inputs and outputs and add your own dedicated input and output into the system for specifically the behavior trees. I will add it at the end of the videos because that's only one line to change. Okay, so inputs dot add new node input. That's our base. I know that the start node, for example, won't have an input, or action nodes won't have an output. We will address them inside their methods when they come forward. So in take, we won't call the base. Here we say if the state that we have, capital state, equals to errored, this is the flag for our early exit. So some node somewhere in the graph is returning error. We want the graph to be errored. So we say if inputs dot not null or empty and inputs at index 0. Why can I do this? Because remember, by the rules, inputs can't be multi-connected. So inputs will only have one element. If they are not empty, it means that we have only one element, and we can always work with that. So if its connection node is not null or empty, then we say inputs at 0 that connection nodes at 0, that means our parent, because we don't have any multi-connection, that the state equals our state. So we error it out. And I like to have this one indented, thank you. Then we need to cast to behavior tree our parent graph. Then we go to its start node, setting its state to our state. Remember, that means errored. So we are erroring the start node. That will force the behavior tree to be errored. Why is that the case? Because if you look at our behavior tree, we're just ticking this guy, okay? We are not doing anything fancy. But what about the state? We are not setting our state. We don't set the behavior tree's state directly into the tick method. Remember that. We only set it when we are in very critical conditions. One of them is this. So we say parent graph that active node equals to this start node. Okay, so we cast the behavior tree, our parent graph, start node. Then we return our capital state. Okay. And let me see, am I not really setting the state? Huh. Yeah, I'm not setting the state. Okay. Yeah, I'm setting the state in start node. Okay. So then we set the ticked to be true because we tick this graph. So if the state is not errored, then we are ticking the node, so we flag the tick to true, and we're returning the capital state. That's our tick. Now, I know that I have two empty methods. Let me double check my notes. Okay. Yeah, I will do this. This set parent active, we say if state does not equal to the running and the state, keep in mind we are working with lower states, does not equal to inactive. So if we are not running, if we are not inactive, we want to do things. First we check if parent graph does not equal to null and inputs not instantiate inputs dot not null or empty and inputs index 0 dot connection node dot not null or empty. Then we say parent graph dot active node. Well, we are setting the parent to active, so inputs at 0 dot connection node at 0. That's our parent basically. Okay. That's the code. Let me comment it because I'm sticking to my notes, but I'm not sure if my notes will work or not. So check possible running child. We say if outputs dot not null or empty. So we want to check our children. So we should check if it's not null. Outputs of 0 dot connection node not null or empty. Then we do stuff. We say var possible child equals to, oh come on, outputs at index 0 dot connection node dot first or default t goes into, and I've done it again, t goes into t dot capital state equals to running. So the first child that is running, if we found it. If we don't find anyone, it will be null. So we say if possible child does not equal to null. Then we say parent graph dot active node equals to that possible child and return true. And I totally forgot that this guy needs to return a bool, not void. And yeah, I need to the easier one. Go to the base. Come on. And yeah, that would work. Okay. So if any one of that, then return false. And now we should be able to change signature of that one. Inside the node, we need to return a bool. That was what I was trying to see. And here we return true. False. That's a better one. Okay. So again, well, I don't comment this code because I commented it inside the behavior tree itself, so it won't be called. And that is our base node. Now, start node is easy. All we do in the initialize, remember, start node by the rules has no inputs. In the tick method, we don't return the base. This is the only node in the graph that I won't return the base. Here we say if outputs that is null or empty, or outputs of 0 dot connection node that is null or empty. Means that the graph is totally empty. We only have a start node. So why we have this graph? State equals to error. We should have a graph. And here we call return base dot tick. Okay? Otherwise, we set our state, lower state, equals to output of 0 dot connection node of 0 dot tick. So we find our very first child. By default, that's the only child. We set our state to be the state of its tick method. Okay? Then we say parent graph dot state. This is where I'm setting my state of the graph equals the state. Then we return the capital state. And that's our start node. That really is our start node. Now, base node schema. We need to override 3 methods here. So override. The very first one is draw GUI, initialize, and if I find it, is valid connection. Okay. So in initialize, after calling the base, we say if related node dot outputs dot not null or empty. We want to do stuff. We want its outputs dot add new node schema. We are doing the same stuff. Okay. Outputs of 0 dot related output equals to related node dot outputs of 0. Okay. So now we go for the same stuff but inside inputs. So we say if related node dot inputs dot not null or empty. We say inputs, now inputs dot add new node input schema, inputs of 0 dot related input equals to related node dot inputs at 0, and inputs of 0 And remember, by the rules, multi-connect equals to false. That's the rule, okay? Is valid connection? Well, we simply say return connecting node is BT base node schema. This is why I didn't go for a new slot, new input or output connections. This is the only thing related to behavior trees, so really adding a class here doesn't make sense. That's why I decided to keep it simple. Now, draw GUI. We do things both before and after calling the base. We say if node scheme equals null, get node scheme and return. After calling the base, we say var style equals to related node dot negate. If that's the case, node scheme dot get style negate active. Be careful about typos. Otherwise, node scheme dot get style of negate normal. Now that we have our style, we say var position equals to node rect dot y plus node rect dot height minus 17. Then we say if GUI button, come on, if GUI dot button new rect node boundary dot x plus 4, comma, our calculated position 11 by 11. We say fa dot minus circle with the style we have. Then we say related node dot negate equals to not related node dot negate. Simple flip-flopping a boolean. So we added a button to every node inside the graph, even the start node, don't forget. Okay? So that's our base node schema. Start node schema. From here on, in every one of the node schemas, I will do copy paste because it's just typing the help. I will share these help files with you later on so that you can read it. And oh, look at here. I found my manifest. Okay. So the manifest is behavior tree. Okay. Oh, wait. No. The namespace is wrong. Ha. Okay. So that. Thank you. And now permanent. Why are you yelling at me? Make set accessor public. Make it say protected or internal. We didn't have. I made it private, huh? So internal would work, I think. Wouldn't it? I'm sure that protected would work. Come on. Yeah. So in your node schema, permanent, I was using private, use it as protected. Okay. So why I'm just doing copy pasting? Because if you look for a start node, we know that we don't have any inputs. Okay. We know that outputs of the start node shouldn't be multi-connected, and that is another rule. Come on, if I can type, the start node's output should not be multi-connected. Okay, this is one of the exceptions. Okay, so I'm setting it to false. Then I have this long help. I will pause the video if you want to read it from here and type it. Ready? Go. Then show name is a start, icon is that, permanent is true. That is why I'm copy pasting this initialize in every one of the nodes, because most of the time it's this part. Okay? So there we go. Now we have the start node, we have the base node, we have the start node, base node. But I want to add something right now. The reason I'm adding it right now is that later down the road, debugging stuff would be hard. Trust me. If I use that tick button in the work view, I would get the proper result. But when I would run it on the runtime, sometimes it would show me bug. So I decided that inside our behavior tree project, I will have this runtime. Well, we would have this eventually, sooner or later, but I decided that it's a good time to have it right from the start. So we will have a behavior tree agent. Behavior tree agent is our very first mono-behavior class inside this whole thing. Okay? Now we will have a public behavior tree, and we call it graph. A public float tick time. And yeah, that's it. Then we have a private float cooldown. Then we have public void start. In the start method, I will say cooldown equals to tick time. Then we say if graph does not equal to null, please reset the graph. That's our start method, okay? And this is the place that I'm not sure if this will work. Let's keep it that way. It's a mono behavior, but meh, we will find it soon. So public void update method. In the update method, we say if graph equals to null, simply return. We don't have anything to do. Cooldown minus equals to time.delta time. If cooldown is less than or equals to 0, do stuff. First, we say cooldown equals to timer. Tick timer, tick time. Then we say if graph dot state equals to success, or graph dot state equals to failure, then we want to reset the graph. So graph dot reset. Otherwise, after that, we simply tick the graph. Okay? This is our very first mono behavior. I'm not sure if it will work. But let's actually see if this null propagation, whatever what was the name, would give us headaches or not. So inside, we are in debug mode. Well, let's first open the Unity, because remember, we have this PDB handler. I want to port it to our project before doing anything else. So open, not the desktop one, in here, Unity projects, RPG APR core, projects, chapter 2, Unity projects, select folder. Yeah, I'm holding on. Come on. There we go. And plugins editor. Everything is import. So import package, custom package from iDesktop. That PDB handler. Thank you. So it's ported into an editor. That's okay. Now we come. We say build, rebuild. That would work. So we got our PDBs. I'm sure of that. Let's. Where was that? Show in Explorer. Yeah, we have the MDBs. That's good. So we have bars.base. That's not what I want. That's in editor. So let's take a look at our build events inside our editor ones. bars.base.dll. And actually, instead of DLL, I will say star. Inside this guy, I need to add this guy, I think. I thought I had it. Build events. Oh, look at here. I don't have anything. So bars.base and bars.behavior 3. Ah, that won't work. DLL. DLL, because the star would contain the editor one. Wow. I'm dumb. Okay. Let's build clean solution. So we will remove that and we will end up with the PDB. I hope we would end up with the PDB element. Anyway, so build, rebuild. So I still get these guys. Well, let's delete them manually for time being. So this is that, and we have our base here. Cool. So moment of truth, if I want a behavior tree agent, and it was in a start, so let's start. Well, I don't see any errors. I don't see any errors, meaning that null propagation worked. Cool. So only thing remaining is to figure out why my build events are not functioning properly. Close all documents, and first one is you. Well, this is making me nuts. Oh, come on, come on, come on. So we are removing bars.base.dll here. No. Okay. To hell with you. The PDB file for that is gone too. For this guy, we have that base DLL behavior tree.dll base.pdb PDB. So it's not removing everything, and yeah, I know I'm having a missing reference, but meh, to hell with you. Where was that? Remove component. So build, rebuild. Going back to Unity. This part is okay. This part is not okay. Why are you not following my rules? Why? Well, I know why. Let's unload the project, edit it, and take a look at here. You see this difference? Now it should follow me. And please, please, I beg you, do this for me. I fixed it on the V6 one, but I forgot to fix it here. So, yeah, that was why I have conditions for the post-build events, and my own system is not containing everything there. That is why it was not being deleted, because well, it was added to release, I think. No, it was in debug, and I was developing debug, but this one was overriding everything. So yeah, no, okay, it's open. Reload, yes. Unload, where are you? And edit. So where is that guy? Oh yeah, I had it in unconditioned one, but then we have this debug condition one. So that is why it's not following my rules. Yeah. And it's screwing my mind with these tabs and empty spaces. So unfortunately, with V6 project solution, we don't have any way of telling the system that, hey, we have this project that we are depending on, so please do this part for me. We don't have that luxury, but that's okay. So build clean solution. Don't delete that PDB handler. It will bite you. Well, not biting, but missing reference. Where is that missing reference again? Not anymore. Okay. So please build correctly this time. Unity. So the BOS ones, that's correct. The editor ones, there we go. We only have the editor ones now. That's cool. Okay. And we already defined that our behavior tree agent is correct. But if you don't know, you can just open this guy and you have this guy behavior tree agent. You can drag and drop it here. Okay. And starting, no errors, no whatever. Okay, cool. So that's our very start position of everything. We have an agent. Let me do something. I will put the tick timer to, I don't know, 0.5. And I will save this scene. Not there. Inside here, new folder, scenes. And I will call it test. So that I know that I have that behavior tree agent somewhere. Okay? Of course, I don't have any behavior tree, but that's okay. So, and this guy is totally empty now. Cool. It was generated by our chapter 1 implementation of finding these folders for us and then adding them. And font. Oh. That's important. That's the important one. Whoa. Coming back to chapter 1, Unity projects, your assets, BOS, that, resources, font. Get this guy. That font awesome. And come on. Add new asset. From here. BOS, graph editor, resources, font awesome. Import. And the rest is the same. Okay. That's cool. Good catch there. So, else your stuff would yell at you. See? Now, what the heck is wrong with this guy? Our very first bug. BOS.base.editor.resources could not be found. Oh. Our manifests are wrong right on the base. BOS.base.editor.resource. Oh, I think I know. Okay, utilities. Graphic utility. Yeah, here we go. Please, resource, not resources. Because it's going for your namespace, not... wait, it should. Oh, no. That's correct. BOS.base.editor.resources. Am I derping this much? No? Okay. So why are you not finding that? Assembly for manifest BOS base editor resources could not be found. And thankfully it should give us now the line numbers. Yep, there we go. Graph utils line 31. Graph utils 31. Huh? That's wrong. graphic utils, line 31, sorry. Okay. (31) is where I'm throwing the exception. Pause that paste that editor that resources. This is where this guy, where was that? No, not there. Where was that? Yeah, debug manifest will be useful. Shift B, come back to Unity, close. This guy won't be closed now because of the errors, but no errors, please. Thank you. I know that I have that problem there. Yeah, we have to nuke Unity, basically, and see if this will work. This is where creating a graph. Oh, that's not where I want it. Okay. Yeah, that's not where I want it. How to solve this one now? Well, my only option, buzz.base.editor resource. Let's try that one. Although I'm sure it's the namespace. Oh, it's namespaces. Oh, okay. Shift build. Coming back. Well, nuke Unity. Run Unity. Come on. And we are getting this one. Same stuff, I think. Yeah, okay. So the manifest is wrong. I wonder. Let me double check my notes first of all. That's a good start. So we say the manifest assembly equals reflection utils assemblies dot first or default t goes into t dot get manifest resource names contains manifest plus dot plus name plus png. That's okay. That's really okay. Okay, so I'll pause the video, I'll stop the video recording, and I will come back in next video with a fix for this guy. Have fun everyone, bye bye.